don't need a hit to believe that I'm living. You can lock me up if my tongue keeps slipping. I'ma keep spitting up rhymes.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you're here, my name is Tara. Today, I thought it would be super fun for us to make a delicious Italian bread. I've shared a recipe on this channel before for Italian bread. I will link it in the description box below, but I wanted to update the recipe to be even easier with less ingredients. You guys are gonna absolutely love this. Before we get started, if you have not already, I would love for you to be a part of this community. You do that by hitting the red subscribe button that's right below this video. Be sure to click the bell icon, that way you're notified each time I post a new video. If you guys are ready to make some incredibly delicious Italian bread, then keep on watching.
The first thing that we need to do is to prepare our yeast. So I'm adding active dry yeast and cane sugar to my warm water. The water needs to be about 105 to 110 degrees. Next, we're gonna grab our large mixing bowl and I'm adding in my bread flour and a little bit of salt. By now your yeast should have bloomed, so we're gonna pour that right in.
Classic Italian bread is naturally vegan, so everyone that you know will be able to enjoy this delicious bread.
I'm gonna use my stand mixer. It makes kneading the dough so easy. So I'm gonna attach my dough hook, set it to the recommended speed. It will take about 5 to 7 minutes for this dough to come together. You may have to scrape the sides down a couple of times, but when the dough looks like this, it's perfect.
I like to proof my dough by sticking the bowl inside of the microwave. Of course, I don't turn the microwave on, but it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours for the dough to proof. If you have an Instant Pot with a yogurt setting, feel free to proof this bread inside of your Instant Pot. It'll take only about 30 minutes versus the hour and a half to 2 hours that it takes in order for it to proof if you just set it aside in a warm environment.
I love using my Instant Pot to proof dough because it makes it happen so quickly. In only 30 minutes, you remove the lid, perfectly proofed dough. Look at how airy and light this dough is. It's going to be absolutely perfect for Italian bread. I'm lightly flouring my work surface. This dough is pretty sticky, so it's very easy to work with. Then I'm going to use my dough cutter and I'm going to just cut this into 3 even-sized portions and just kind of start to loosen the dough up. I find it's easiest to pull the dough rather than rolling it.
I decided to jazz this bread up a bit by braiding it. You do not have to do this. I do think it adds such a delicious texture, and of course it's beautiful, but you can just shape it into a regular loaf and that will work just as well.
I love working with dough. The more you pull it, it actually becomes easier to work with. Sometimes it's actually best just to set it aside for about 5 minutes and it'll loosen up even more. So just like you would braid hair, you're braiding the dough. I'm tucking the ends under. I'm gonna lightly flour it just a little bit underneath so it doesn't stick. And then we're gonna cover it and we're gonna let it rest for about 15 minutes. I typically preheat my oven while the dough is resting. So now I'm gonna lightly brush this with water, just water. You can use an egg wash, but it's not necessary. And I love to add sesame seeds. I love sesame seeds on an Italian loaf. Transferred it to my very hot pizza stone. Bake it for about 25 to 35 minutes. And look at this bread. Look at how airy, absolutely perfect. You guys are gonna love this recipe.
This bread freezes beautifully. If you have any left over, I highly recommend slicing it up and sticking it inside of the freezer. Then whenever you would like a delicious piece of Italian bread, simply pop it in the toaster or the toaster oven and it will be absolutely delicious. If you like this video, you're gonna wanna check out my Italian recipe playlist. I'm gonna leave it right here for you. Go ahead and click the video on the screen and I will see you over there.